Today, I'm going to expose this brand new report from BlackRock that recommends putting Bitcoin in the optimal portfolio for the first time ever. And I'm going to discuss why this might be linked to whales smash buying the dip and buying Bitcoin at an absolutely crazy rate. Now, first, let's dive into this tweet from the legend Matthew Siegel, friend of the program, saying that BlackRock adds its Bitcoin ETF to the model portfolio for the first time ever, adding that 1 to 2% allocation in its target allocation that allow for alternatives is absolutely necessary here. It's saying that adding the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF and its target allocation for portfolio for alternatives, and it's saying that the move is cratering alongside the Bitcoin price absolutely crashing to 83K, folks. So, I mean, if I were you, I would be actually wondering how the hell did we get here where we're talking about the Bitcoin price crashing when it's simply at 83K. But that's beside the point here. BlackRock adding its Bitcoin ETF to the optimal portfolio is nothing short of electric, folks, because that means they're recommending billionaires, multi-millionaires, the giants to have allocation to Bitcoin, because as BlackRock is the world's biggest asset managers, this 1 to 2% is absolutely massive. Now, it's marked the first time that it's included the IBET ETF in any of its models, which I think is absolutely interesting here, right? Because they've had this ETF for over a year now. So they've had a full year's worth of data to see, hey, what does our ETF do throughout this entire year while Bitcoin is crashing here at $84,000? And we also see what it does comparatively to other assets. BlackRock is keeping a closer eye onto Bitcoin and the Bitcoin price, maybe closer than it's ever had before. So as we're saying here, right, that Bitcoin is absolutely crashing and falling down, that their BlackRock's model portfolios manage around 130 billion. That's billion with the B like the goat, folks. And this is a smaller allocation, but it could influence advisors and platforms that follow this model. That's what I think is absolutely massive here. We don't know the true extent of BlackRock and of BlackRock's influence. Obviously, the largest money manager in the world has massive amounts of influence. That cannot be understated, right? BlackRock, Larry Fink, all these guys, everybody hangs on what they're saying. BlackRock filing for a Bitcoin ETF suddenly got approved very quickly, while the Winklevoss twins and others filed for it a while ago and did not. Oh, there goes my light. And did not get approved very quickly. But on top of all of that, right, we're seeing that the BlackRock ETF and what the BlackRock ETF is really showing here is that with all of this, right, we're seeing, let me fix and adjust here as I've messed it up here significantly. I've gotten a little darkness here, but with this all being said, right, we're seeing BlackRock openly tell us, hey, this is what these ETF products need. We need these things to start to come out from the open. We need these things to now really start to be allocated to the optimal portfolio, right? So they're saying, hey, this Bitcoin ETF, it's a part of these model portfolios. But why I think this is interesting is because, like I mentioned earlier, we've got BlackRock with massive amounts of influence here, right? So we've got Bitcoin whales now buying that dip with literally 1.28 billion with a B, like the goat, folks, being added under 90,000. So Bitcoin whales are now in net buying mode. At first, we saw the whales selling off. Now we're seeing them buying and scooping up at a rapid rate. The amount of whales that are being now coming onto the market is massive, folks. We're seeing it at an all-time. where we're seeing the whales and the new amount of whales just massively, massively scoop up here. The on-chain data is not lying, folks. We're seeing these new whales be created left and right. And so we're seeing this continue to happen. We're seeing whales buy even with this price dipping at the low rate that it is. So why are we seeing these whales buy at this rapid pace, and why right now? I firmly believe that it's in large part due to BlackRock's influence. We're seeing BlackRock now openly say, hey, this is what we think the optimal portfolio is. The optimal portfolio includes Bitcoin, at least at a 1 to 2%. Now, because it includes buying Bitcoin at a 1 to 2%, now why are we seeing Bitcoin whales buy like never before, right? We're seeing them scoop up Bitcoin more and more, and I will show you guys just what I mean here. Look at this chart. This chart is absolutely incredible. Look at the new whales that we're seeing here, right? We're seeing whales in the past quarter, and especially in the month of January. If we zoom in here, we're seeing this month of January scoop up like crazy. So the big wallets are accumulating like never before, and they're doing it at a rapid pace. And it's not just me that's saying that, and the man Vivek, a lot of analysts are looking at this and saying, hey, Bitcoin whales are scooping up 34K Bitcoin since December. And that's not 34K as the price. We all know we're sitting here crashing down to 82, 83K, but that's sitting at 34K Bitcoin in total, right? So they're seeing this dip as a juicy, juicy buying opportunity. And BlackRock has seen that when there's a juicy buying opportunity in the past, when we see a dip come in, even in the short term, that leads to a massive amounts of trading volume for their iBet ETF. So I think BlackRock is seeing all of this. They're seeing the volumes come through. They're seeing things like the money managers and their clients really looking for a product like this Bitcoin ETF, like the iBet ETF, and really want to buy more and more Bitcoin. They're even seeing these ETF trading volumes skyrocket, right? But I think the interesting part, like we said here at the beginning, is that they're adding this Bitcoin ETF to a $150 billion Bitcoin model portfolio, right? So this firm has 11.5 trillion assets under management and added Bitcoin to their $1.5 billion portfolio, or 150, excuse me, billion dollar portfolio. So they've got $11.5 trillion worth of assets. It was absolutely massive that they were Bitcoin and really vouching for Bitcoin by going through the ETFs there. But I think it's even bigger that we're seeing things like the BlackRock global investment firm here, say put 1 to 2% allocation. But what do we all know in this Bitcoin space, folks? What do we all know? We know that when somebody says, hey, allocate 1 to 2% of your portfolio to a Bitcoin allocation, that thing's going to grow, and it's going to grow over time. It's going to become 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 10% of your overall portfolio, and you're just going to see that thing take off. Man, I am sorry I'm messing up here. I can't read. I was a little flabbergasted and phased here, so I apologize for that. But as Robert's saying, it's March. In 1.5 days, they bought in January. Are they selling now? Maybe they bought in October. So as I've been saying a lot during this channel that you guys have all known, is that we've seen a lot of reports coming out here recently of people buying in Q4. My theory is that they are not buying right now. They're just saying, hey, you should allocate 1 to 2%. So I'm not saying that they're buying. The whales have been buying in January, but I think the overall investment firms, the big money managers, have not been buying. That's why we saw a bunch of the Goldman Sachs, MSTR, all of these big money managers double up on their Bitcoin and MicroStrategy holdings in Q4. And I think the whales are the ones that are buying now. So we're seeing a little dip because the whales were were selling off once we hit 100K, while the money managers were scooping up. And now we're seeing the flip side of things. The whales are starting to buy back here, right? So that's where I think we are going here. And as Matthew J is saying, we have crashed to all-time lows of what we got, 83,000 here, 84. Oh, we just clicked 84,000. We're back, folks. Don't worry about it. The dip is over. We're seeing it back here at 84. Obviously, that's tongue in cheek, and I'm just kidding here. But we are all you guys are saying here, right? It's DCA Friday after all. My man Cascader in the chat is saying, trust in Brandon, he does not need to read. He goes off instincts, haters, and disbelief. Hey, I'm right there with you, folks. And I've got a surprise for you guys later where I'm going to be giving you free Bitcoin. So stick around and battle through this inability to read here today. But we are going to be looking at, what these are saying. We're reading through the tea leaves here, folks. BlackRock saying adding 1 to 2% of their allocation to the $48 billion worth of shares in the IBET ETF as its target allocation for portfolios that will allow for alternatives. So I think that this is absolutely massive, right? We're seeing BlackRock, the biggest money manager on the planet, say, hey, not only do we have this ETF, we've had this ETF for a year, it's been successful for a year, and we think that you and the optimal portfolio should put at least 1 to maybe 2% of your portfolio into that. Now, if you're looking to scoop in more Bitcoin, I've got a surprise for you. I talked with my folks at the Bitcoin Well, and they were like, hey, why aren't you using the wishing well? You got to give some people some free sats. Well, I've got that for you. So I'll give you guys all a second here to get your Bitcoin Lightning wallets here ready to go, because those are in the chat. Get them all ready. Get the screen full screen, and I will do this here. You guys can sign up yourselves as well if you go to bitcoinwell.com/green-candle and potentially get some tickets for yourself so you can do this wishing well. But I'm giving you guys free sats, so get ready as we're going through this wishing well here. Let's see what we can get. Ooh, look at that. 210 sats. So somebody scan it here. See if you could get that. I'll maybe zoom in a little bit, make it as big as possible. Let's see. Did somebody scan and get those sats? If you got them, be sure to let me know in the chat, and I will get off of this thing so we don't have a bunch of people trying to go for it. But scan this to try to get some more sats for you. Let me know who's got it. And we will maybe get this wishing well maybe 1 or 2 more times. So let me know in the chat if you guys were able to get these sats, get them going through, if it's scanned and whatnot. I'm giving you guys free sats, 210 free sats. That could be life-changing money here in the near future if you guys are, holding on to these sats. So I'm going to assume that somebody got it. If not, I might have to freaking scoop these up and steal them if you guys didn't get them just yet. Nobody's letting me know in the chat. But I will assume that somebody got it. I've been holding it up here for a little bit of time now, and then maybe we'll give it one more time here. We'll do it again. All right, so let's see. One more sats, one more tossing coin. We can toss it in here. Here's another one. Boom, what do we get? 210 again. Still 210. So all you got to do here, for those that are saying that they're not experienced enough to do that, all you got to do is pull out a Lightning wallet, scan the QR code, and you will receive those 210 sats. So be sure to do that. If not, you guys can join Bitcoin Well by going to bitcoinwell.com/green-candle. They will give you some free sats just by joining. You can go there, do that, go to the wishing well. You can toss some of those things. You can sign up here, even enter in your email. Join me and the safest place to buy Bitcoin, because we're seeing BlackRock saying, hey, you should allocate 1 to 2% of your entire portfolio towards Bitcoin. Now, for those of you that are looking at this and saying, hey, this looks like something that's juicy, we're seeing BlackRock say, hey, 1 to 2%. We're seeing Bitcoin floating around $84,000 and not necessarily doing too much here, right? We usually have people that are doing the most, but instead Bitcoin is just floating down, even crashing a little bit. We've got Bitcoin that went and dipped down to tested below 80K, then rocketed back up. I think everybody was like, hey, we don't want to test that 80K mark ever again. Now we're seeing Bitcoin dip, dip, dip. So now is your time to scoop it up like with some Tostitos during the Super Bowl. You're looking at this Bitcoin dip, looking at it as real juicy, maybe some Campbell's Chunky Soup or something like that. I don't know why I'm spewing all these food takes at you. Maybe I'm a little bit hungry here, but we're seeing whales rapidly buy up Bitcoin. And I think that that is the key here, right? We're seeing the Giga Chads like Michael Saylor. We're seeing them buy up more and more Bitcoin on a daily basis. So if these guys are buying more and more Bitcoin, why aren't you doing it? You guys definitely need to be doing that. Looking at Bitcoin as a escape valve because, hey, the Giga Chads like Michael Saylor and all of the likes, they are buying up the Bitcoin. And if you're going to let them do it, they're going to continue to do it, folks. So be sure to look at this and understand that's what the whales are doing. And if you want to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, you can go to the Bitcoin Well and buy some there at the bitcoinwell.com/green candle to join me at the party here. And if you're looking at this and you're saying, hey, I got a lot of dry powder on the sidelines, you want to smash by 50K or more, go to their OTC desk, set up an appointment today and smash by that dip, folks. I couldn't say it more and more. We've got Down Under Blues in the chat saying that he's smash bought the dip. So attaboy. And I have smash bought the dip. And I know many of other Bitcoiners are smash buying this dip. So as my man All Nighter Hider generally says in the chat, who isn't here, even though I've gotten dark again because my light died for a second time. He says, smoke the light like Cheech and Chong. And hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm going to start giving away free sats at all of these live streams, so be sure to join whenever you guys see me do this. Be sure to join the chat and have your lightning wallets ready so I can start sending you guys all some sats for joining me. So thank you guys all so much, and we'll see you all at the next